Alright, what's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the build I've been using to solo the legendary missions from Witch Queen. And this is specifically for the hunter, so if you guys have trouble with another class, I'll be making videos on those ones as well. Now without further ado, this is what you guys are going to need. First, of course, we're going to be on the Stasis subclass, and we're also going to be using dust field grenades. That's what this build revolves around. Then the aspects we're going to be using is Grim Harvest and Touch of Winter. Next is going to be the fragments, and we're going to be using Whisper of Torment so that you get grenade energy whenever you take damage. Then we're going to be using Whisper of Shards so that whenever you shatter a crystal, it's going to boost your grenade recharge rate. Next fragment is Whisper of Rhyme, and what this does, whenever you pick up a shard, it stacks the overshield on you. This is super helpful in legendary, especially if you're solo. Then we have Whisper of Fissures, which is going to increase the damage and the size whenever you destroy a crystal or blow up a frozen target. Now for your last slot, you can kind of use whatever, but I would suggest either using the Whisper of Conduction, which is going to make your stasis shards track towards you, or the Whisper of Bonds fragment, which is whenever you destroy a frozen target, you get super energy. I would suggest Whisper of Conduction just because having the shards come towards you is a little bit better for survivability, but choose whatever you want right there. And now we're going to move on to the actual mods that you need to put this build together. Now the actual armor elements, I deliberately chose these, so if you want to copy this exact same build, then you're going to need stasis arms, stasis boots, a solar class item, an arc helmet, and your chest piece can be whatever. Now starting off with the class item, since it's solar, we're going to be using double bombers inside, and for your fourth slot, we're going to be putting a bountiful well mod. And if you don't know what that does, whenever you spawn an elemental well, you're going to spawn multiple of them. Now for your boots, since they're stasis, we're going to be using a well of restoration mod in the fourth slot. And what this does is whenever you pick up a stasis elemental well, your ability with the lowest charge is going to get a boost. So that's pretty handy. Then in one of your middle slots, we're going to be using a orbs of restoration mod, which is whenever you pick up orb of power, it's going to grant a small amount of energy to your ability with the least amount of energy. These do stack, so orbs, swells, you're going to be getting your recharges back pretty quick. Now for your arms, which are also stasis, in your fourth slot, we're going to be putting elemental shards in there. And what this is going to do, whenever you pick up a stasis shard, that's going to count as an elemental well. So super good. And we're also going to put a Kickstarter mod in there. I got a grenade one, you can put a melee one, whichever one is fine. I would suggest a grenade kickstart. Now for the last two pieces, the helmet and the chest piece, you don't really need a specific armor element, but for the helmet, I would suggest using an arc one so that you can take advantage of the hands-on mod, which gives you super energy whenever you kill something with a melee attack. But really, you can use whatever you want, as long as in the last two pieces, you have melee well maker and elemental ordnance. That's going to allow you to make elemental wells whenever you get a kill with your grenade or with your melee attack. Now, as far as the weapons go, if you're trying to solo the legendary missions, you need a scout rifle. And if you have Dead Man's Tail with a Whirlpool, that's amazing. But if you don't, pretty much any scout rifle will work. But particularly for this build, if you've been watching in the background, this scout rifle right here, the Perseus D, this is a new one from Witch Queen. It drops pretty commonly. If you can get one with headstone, like lock that down, that makes this build like 10 times better. Now for the other weapons I'm using in the loadout, for my heavy, I'm using the Anarchy. You can't go wrong with that during the campaign. There's a lot of arc shields. There's a lot of enemies rushing you all at once. And in my special, I'm using the new glaive. This thing is amazing. There's a lot of void shields and you can block. And it's actually really, really helpful. But obviously you can substitute whatever you got if you don't have these weapons. But for legendaries, long range is always your friend. And that's pretty much all you need to get the build up and running. Now for a brief overview on how to use the build, you pretty much just want to freeze things with your dust field, get them caught in the mix. You want to shoot the crystal to shatter it. That's going to spawn crystals. You're going to pick those up. You're going to throw your shurikens to spawn more elemental wells. And just look at the background footage and you can kind of tell what's going on here. But it's pretty simple. You still have to be pretty aware. And even though you're going to be getting your dust field grenades back in 10 seconds, sometimes less than 10 seconds, you still have to be pretty careful in legendary. So just play it slow. Don't be afraid to run backwards and get your distance so you don't get swarmed, and you should be fine. I've been using this build and it's been working out really, really good. Definitely way better than when I was going through the campaign on my Titan and trying out the new Void. This is way easier. This is way better. And once we unlock the new exotic at the end of the campaign, the stasis arms, this build is going to get super crazy and they're probably going to nerf it. And that's all I got for you guys today. My name is Alex. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna leave some footage up in the background of me playing some more legendary missions just so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. And if you enjoyed the video, hope you like, subscribe, all the shenanigans, leave a comment, and I shall see you guys next time. Later, and peace out.